This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what is really good, my dudes? Today is Monday, October 23rd, 2017, and we got another RuneScape update for y'all. So today we see a patch week. No major game update this week, so just a patch week, but some really interesting and useful things for PvMing and skilling. So without any further ado, we're just going to jump right into the patch notes as there's no major game update. So as you'd expect, we're just going to head on into it. So let's check it out. The Spooky Spider and Nautilus outfit now work correctly with recolored skin tone. An option has been added to toggle the Nautilus necklace with the next slot in the wardrobe. The animation for female characters wearing the Nautilus outfit has been corrected. Using the Nightstone effect directly after the Bloodstone effect will no longer cause a black and white effect. The animation for equipping elemental shields has been updated. The walk animations for Sea Snake hatchlings and Sea Snake young have been updated and smoothed out. The Rune Metrics interface is now visible during kegger, racing, table dancing, and zapper minigames in the Notumberfest events. The constitution and defense level requirements to wear the agile top and legs, not to be confused with the nimble outfit, have been removed. Cutting Metaphos sandstone or granite now generates 1 crafting XP. Bamboo can now be used with a portable Fletcher for convenience, but without generating additional resources. This is to ensure that the Waiko grill and portable range saving chances are not affected due to Wabagong's comparative rarity. Players can now use the Constitution abilities in Champions Guild fights that have specific melee, magic, or ranged only requirements. The Trapper from player-owned ports now correctly shows as unlocked in the skill guide at 90+ Hunter. Players now have a higher chance to receive a lifeboat reward from the player-owned port Sea Singer Umi and Black Market Tier events. Players can no longer use firecrackers to increase their mining speed. Evil trees will no longer give clue scrolls on free worlds. The tooltip for the Heaven Voice of Saren has been tweaked to give a better explanation of the agility/prayer buff. The Luminous Energy skill guide entry no longer mentions dealing with the desert heat. The last mural on the Sunken Pyramid will now unlock at 110 souls captured instead of 90. The rewards chest inside the Sophonim Slayer dungeon is no longer called Menaphos Dungeon Chest. The quest marker for the Lost City quest giver has been updated to reflect his current location in Lumbridge Swamp. Blue box highlighting for the Phlegmatic Imp during the Imp Catcher quest has been updated to reflect his current location in the Lumbridge Swamp. The world map names for the underground pig pen used in bringing back the bacon have been updated. Rerolling a daily challenge will now only consume Viswax after confirming the reroll. Members' skill challenges up to level 5 can now be progressed by free players. The chat for Eclarin's Little Helper on a pet cat can no longer be triggered on a free world. Players can once again teleport from the top of the Cythery Tower. The spider minions in the Araxi fight will now die at the end of her death animation. The right-click options on Barrels Brothers spawned by other players has been removed. The click radius of the gravity field in the Virago boss fight has been increased. The Max Guild boss portal has been updated to show all options on one page. A set arrival option has been added to various bosses for the Max Guild boss portal. A Don't Ask Me Again option has been added when prompted about the 100k coin charge for retuning the Max Guild boss portal. The following items now always show a loot beam: Ghost Hunter equipment, Ancient Emblems, Perfect Chitin, Camel Journals, Magister Journals, Adamant Dragon Journals, and Attuned Crystal Seeds. Players are now prompted with a warning message when equipping a demonic skull and when crossing the wilderness wall with one in their backpack. The Book of Death now works against Runite dragons. Players can now use Keepsake Keys and the Magic Skill Cape perk at the Shadow Worlds Bank. Players can once again switch graphical toolkits when using the Java client. The Customizations tab will now close itself if opened in the buffer zone of the wilderness up until level 3 of the wilderness. A number of issues with delayed player animations on the wardrobe interface has been fixed. Players can no longer place hunter traps in the wilderness buffer zone. Several Suka spawns have been moved to tiles accessible to players. Players can no longer get stuck inside the Ooglog pools. Players can now use magic notepaper on dragon boots to note them. Entering the wilderness via Demonheim will now cancel players' walk routes so that they only walk one tile into the wilderness. Typos in the next Angel of Death reward curse descriptions have been corrected. A message issue where items which couldn't be noted were described as noted items has been fixed when other players harvest a divine simulacrum. Filled rune pouches now show the correct value in the Wealth Evaluator. Fully charged scrimshaws will now stack in the bank with brand new ones. Ghouls no longer spawn within trees in Canifis Graveyard. An issue that allowed players to retrieve unlimited mad necklaces from Diango has been fixed. The wise old man will no longer lie about storing burnt meat when in fact he is throwing it away. The music player filter now works correctly on the audio settings parent interface. Players can now reclaim the Gillinor Games ring from Diango if destroyed. The boost and activate options on the action bar for equipped skill capes has been swapped around. Augmented obliteration, annihilation, and decimation no longer leave a copy of the item after keepsaking. The XP amount shown while using an ancient effigy now uses numerical separators. Iron Man accounts can no longer purchase brawling gloves from Mandrith. Hellware no longer drops loot outside of the arena. Here are a couple of hotfixes that went live throughout the week. You can pause it real quick if you want to check them out, but they've already been in the game prior to this update, so nothing new there. And let's go ahead and move on to ninja fixes. Surge and Escape are now usable during the global cooldown period, similar to Bladed Dive outside of PvP areas. Quest requirements on the quest information screen in the quest journal will now link to the appropriate required quests when clicked on. The Holy Wreath headpiece has received a graphical update to give it more visual character. Hans now has a right-click buy option for veteran capes on free worlds. Seagulls on the Port Sarim dock now drop feathers. The maximize/minimize action bar button has been returned to its original larger size. A check progress option has been added to Manifos soul obelisks. Red sandstone is now unaffected by the furnace perk when mining with an augmented pickaxe. The fishing spots inside the Menefos VIP area have been moved closer together and will now only spawn on the west side of the pool. A Fish Flinger's Fisherman has arrived at the Menefos VIP area. White Knight gloves have been renamed to gauntlets. The skill name has been added to Strange Rocks and Golden Rocks. Strange Rocks are now sorted alphabetically in the statue collection bag to match Golden Rocks. The Ring of Stone interface in Legacy mode has been updated to improve the clarity of the text. Guthix rest potions and flasks are now all a consistent color. The Wildstalker helmet now increments kills on free worlds. A warning has been added to the safe area in the wilderness to inform players about demonic skulls and luring. The Bone Crusher upgrade can now be bought from Bonnie in Wyco without owning a Bone Crusher as part of the Arc achievements. Players still require the original Bone Crusher from Daemonheim in order to activate the effect. The Fish Flinger's Fisherman in Piscatoris has moved to the northeast shoreline. Items can no longer be dragged from the collection slot to the Grand Exchange interface. All doors in the Mislania castle except the bedroom and throne room doors are now open by default. The Farmer's Wander range away from the bank chest in the Melior district of Prithinis has been adjusted. The Balloon Travel map interface has been adjusted to bring it in line with other interfaces. The Varrock Teleport will now teleport players slightly closer to the staff shop depending on the Varrock task completion settings. A Lumbridge Teleport will teleport players closer to the Combat Academy. A right-click option has been added to select the destination on various fairy rings throughout the game world without having to first visit Xanaris. The Toxket Zil Shield once more uses an older model variant. The Varrock Museum display case interfaces have been updated to match the current interface style. Suka hide can now be traded in for Suka teeth by Skullgrimmen in Relica at a 1-to-1 ratio after players have completed the Hard Fremnik achievement set. The Arcane Capacitor necklace is no longer a requirement for the borrowed power spell in the Lunar Spellbook, instead now only requiring 3 Astral Runes. The spell can be unset and subsequently reset within bank areas. And the confirmation dialogue when attempting to enter or leave the Grand Library of Menefos has been removed. And that's it for the patch notes. Link will be down in the description below if you really want to check them out for yourself. And that's it for today's update. Lots of stuff to get into in terms of patch notes, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Peace.